Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 197 of the Animation Station podcast. My name is Josh, and I am joined once again by Mr. Harold Story.
What up, what up?
What up, man? So, yeah, you've been doing the Toonsy podcast.
Yeesh.
You've got some cool episodes coming up.
Yeah, I've got some cool projects. I'm working on something for March that I haven't quite announced yet, but I'm really excited about. Other than that, just, interviewing cool people about, what cartoons and music they were into growing up. So it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. And we're here because we're going to talk about the newest anime movie from director Makoto Shinkai, Weathering with You.
Yeesh.
Or if we want to do the Japanese, and again, apologies for my pronunciation, I believe it's Tinkai no Ko.
Oh. Today I learned.
Mm-hmm, which I guess means child of weather.
Oh, okay. They always have to come up with some sort of English translation.
Exactly. And so they're like, Weathering with You? It's like, sure. We'll give that a shot. Why not? So it's a sequel to his 2000 and oh god, Josh, why did you start
16? I think
talking about was it 16?
I thought so.
Hold on, we got this. Let's do a scroll. I got this.
I'm pretty sure that it's the film in question. Your Name.
2016. Yes. Good
Boom.
job. 2016 anime film, Your Name, or Kimi no Nawa.
Man, I love that movie too.
Oh, it's so good. Which Kimi no Nawa, a follow-up movie to his other anime film, A Garden of Words.
I know, isn't it? I think that's on Netflix right now too.
Yes, I think that's where it stops because I don't think 5 centimeters per second. It goes into
in the same universe or whatever.
Yeah. Or the other one that he did. What is the other one that he did? The children who chase lost voices. I don't believe that one is
tied in
continuation of anything.
Right.
So. Yeah, I do like that there is a continuity between. Oh, by the way, everybody, spoilers. So if you haven't seen Weathering
galore.
with You, it's still in theaters. Go see it. I thought it was just going to be a Fathom event thing, and that was going to be it. It was just going to be those 2 nights only, and then they were just like, no, we're just going to go ahead and keep it out for wide release. And I'm like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, there was multiple showings when we looked it up to go see it.
Mm-hmm. Then they're bringing it to the Regal. 4X or FX or whatever they're calling it, they're nice theaters with the really good sound and everything.
Oh yeah, is it the XD?
Something like that. I don't know. I just saw G Kids was posting about that, and that's starting in February. So I'm like, man, they're continuing out through February. So
sicky.
Jeez. Now, did you see it in dub or sub?
Oh, I didn't know they had a dub. We saw it subbed.
You saw it subbed. Okay, so the first time that I saw it, Gavin and I saw it dubbed.
Oh, man, I didn't even know that was an option.
Yes. So we saw it dubbed because I was like, okay, we both wanted to kind of see it dubbed first. So then I went back the next day, and I was supposed to be a subbed version. So I go to AMC, and I'm like, okay, I want to get my sub so I can compare the two. And so I'm in there. There is a large audience of which I'm not gonna lie to you, the only Caucasian in the entire place. So I'm sitting there with all these people, and then it starts, and because how the movie starts, there's a bit of silence before it. You just see her sitting by the window watching the rain, and you get that for maybe about 45 seconds, and then his voiceover comes in.
Right.
So sitting there, and then his voiceover comes in, and it's in English. And, the entire theater audibly gasps.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh no, this was supposed to be a subbed screening. And yes, people got up, people left. They stopped the movie.
Oh my god.
Maybe like 10 minutes in.
That's
and
insane.
They're like, we apologize. Unfortunately, we can't switch this over to subbed. Or I think she played it very well. She was like, to the original Japanese. We can't switch it to the original Japanese. So you can go ahead and continue watching this version. And then we will give you passes for a new movie.
Oh,
and
okay.
Half the people got up and left.
Dang.
Like, they didn't even want to try it with English voices. They were just deuces.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah, and so, like, I had, like, these, I think there were probably 5 or 6 of them next to me. And they were maybe, like 19, 20-year-old dudes. So 2 of them got up and left. And one of the guys is like, I don't know why they're leaving. I'm their ride. I'm going to watch the movie.
Oh, what
so,
the
like,
heck?
these 2 dudes, I guess, like, when we walked out, like, they finally met them up in the lobby, and they were like, dude, why'd you guys leave? And it's like, we didn't want to watch it in English. And it's like, but it was a free movie.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I know, I was like,
That's
whatever.
that elitism, man. Remember
Exactly.
the old Akira Gate?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty funny because there are a bit, because they do the "Ikidakimasu" or "I apologize for my thanks for the food" in Japanese, and which I'm assuming happened in the sub version, but in the English version they say "Bon appetit."
Oh wow,
and like they all were like, "Ugh."
That is kind of cringe.
And I'm like, guys, it's okay. It's not English. It's French. Like,
that is true. That's still not in English.
Like, I was just like, guys, they just replaced the Japanese for French, so you're welcome.
There is, some of those like culturally Japanese things, like not to get too far ahead, but like one of the times when he calls the little brother senpai.
Dude, he calls him senpai in the dub, too.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was just like...
That's funny.
You left senpai
I was going to say, I was wondering how that what they were going to do with that.
But then you changed it to bon appetit.
That's strange.
It's like, interesting here. Yeah, so it was great. Like, that... Because, like, they were talking during the movie and everything, too. Like, if it would have been my first time seeing it, I would have been pissed that they were talking. But with my second time... and the situation that we were all in, I just kept my mouth shut, and I'm just like, this is actually pretty good. Because, like, they were laughing at parts. Like, they were like, oh, this sucks and everything at the beginning. But then by the time the credits were rolling, they're like, the English wasn't that bad. And I was like, yeah, because it's 2020, guys.
I wonder if they'd seen it already, too, or... I don't know.
I don't know. I mean...
Or no, they were expecting it to see it subtitled, actually.
Exactly, they were expecting it to see it subtitled. So, I mean, like... I don't know, man. It was a weird situation, but we got through it, and I still have my pass. So I've got my guest readmit pass.
That'll work.
So I'm like, I get to go see another movie.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is Weathering with You. It's 2019 Makoto Shinkai film. Let's see. Let me get you a little. Let's read the IMDb description. Here we go. IMDb description. A high school boy who runs away to Tokyo befriends a girl who appears to be able to manipulate the weather. That's actually pretty accurate.
Is that the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Oh, man. Well, that's pretty much the gist of it, I guess.
Yeah, usually they're not accurate, or, like, they're, like, hardly anything, but this one actually was not bad. Like, that kind of gives you a small, synopsis or summary of what the movie is. Let's we're not gonna go scene by scene because that's boring. But we're just gonna get this out of the way now. Comparing this to Your Name, because obviously we're gonna compare it to Your Name. Since this is very much a sequel, if you will. what did you think about this one as compared to Your Name?
Man, going into it, I have built Your Name into such a high like state of mind, I guess. Like I don't know. Whenever I was asked to contribute to the Cinemetropolis for like my favorite films of the decade, that was the one animated film that I put for the decade that was my favorite. And so going in, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this as much. And then by the end of it, I was like, man, I don't know. Like I think I might have liked this better than. And I don't know if that's just like the thing of like it's just being the most recent one that I saw. But man, I was like pleasantly surprised how much I liked it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, same thing. Like I really love Your Name. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. Love Your Name, but I don't know. Like I really liked the story was a little bit better, and I liked the characters more than I liked in Your Name. Like this one, like in Your Name, there's really two characters. Everybody else is just kind of there. Yeah,
there's kind of like some role players, like the best friends and stuff. But
this one, it's like everybody is, a good character. Like you've got Taki, who is a good. Well, wait, Taki's the cop. Shoot, come on, Josh. You remember these people. Get your book out.
The girl name's Hina.
Yeah, Hina and Hodaka.
And then Kisuke is the
Suga,
his boss.
Yeah, Kisuke and Natsumi.
And Natsumi was hilarious. You looked at my boobs. I was like, Jesus.
I was like, well, yeah, obviously.
As you do.
Why wouldn't you? Nagisa, who was great. Like, I love Nagi.
That was my favorite character of the whole movie, TBH.
Oh, yeah, dude, when he first when you first meet him and he's like this player kid, and you're like, bro, look at you.
Dude, Hodaka's like, he's a ladies' man. Man, I was dying.
It's like, Tokyo sure is. Oh, that was the thing that they did a lot. Yeah,
that
bit. Did they do that? Was that in the sub?
Yeah, that bit, how he kept saying, like, it's scary, Tokyo or it's
sure
great.
Is scary. Yeah, it was like, Tokyo sure is different, Tokyo sure is scary, and then Tokyo's great, and it's like, yeah, lots of craziness. But yeah, like, I felt like these characters were a lot more rounded than the other characters.
Yeah, it felt more ensemble than, like, side character-y.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, first showing, the Fathom event showing that I went to, when the Your Name people came on, because we get, Taki and Mitsuha, when they show up in that first showing, people are just like, like that, and I'm like, okay. But then when they showed up in my second showing, that wonderful showing, they lost their minds.
Really?
They're like, oh, it's the guy from the first one. Like the dude like yells it out, and everyone's like, oh, like that, and it's like, yeah, guy.
I think they're just like not expecting it, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting, it's like the moment that you hear, like the moment I heard, Michael Sinter-Nicholas's voice, which, I mean, he plays like, I think 2 other people in this film as well. He's like the kid with the long sideburns that gets, like the waterfalls on him with the glasses kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the sideburns kid. But he voices Taki in Your Name. And so, like, I'm sitting there, like, when I heard his voice, I was like, hey, Grandma. And I was just like, oh, there it is. There's our wonderful Taki. There's our Your Name references. But we got one way earlier than that as well. Did you catch that one?
I don't guess so. I just remember thinking that when he was with the grandma, I was like, is that the guy from Your Name?
Yeah. Okay. So, the very first time that she makes the rain go away, there's a Ferris wheel in the background. On that Ferris, you see these 2 people on a Ferris wheel, and they say, "Oh, look, it cleared up."
I remember that moment.
Yeah, that's the 2 best friends. Mitsuha's 2 best friends from her village.
Okay.
Yeah, from Your Name.
The ones that helped her commit that that act of terrorism.
Exactly. Yeah.
And blow up the
those two terrorist
turbine?
children's. Yes. The generator station.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, those two terrorists that are on the run.
Yeah, right.
Because like I saw that and I kind of like looked around and nobody got that, and I was just like, oh.
I guess I didn't realize
honestly,
that either.
I thought
That's
that was
funny.
going to be. I thought that was going to be the only Your Name reference that we got.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be it. But then they were like, because in Your Name, you get you really don't know, other than like he says, like one of the students says the teacher's name, that she's the teacher from Garden of Words.
Oh, okay.
That's the only time that you get any sort of connection.
Callback, right?
Exactly. And in this one, I was like, oh, that's going to be the callback. He's going to do subtle callbacks in like all of his movies. Like, oh, here's a subtle callback to Your Name. And I would have been like, cool. But then they were like, no, the kids are actually going to have a conversation with the main character from Your Name. And then he's going to go buy some jewelry from the other main character from Your Name.
Man, that's so funny.
Yeah. And there was during the Fathom event, they had a special message after everything, like a special interview with Shinkai about the film. And this is taking place during the last scenes of Your Name.
I think we were talking about that. Didn't you ask me that? If it stuck around? Because we ended up sticking around for that after the
Oh, yeah. So
credits thing.
Did they have that?
I don't know. We ended up leaving right after.
Oh, yeah. That was at the end of the credits.
Right.
So he basically says, yes, what's going on here is taking place simultaneously with the end of Your Name. So when it's like they meet each other, and then when it starts snowing in Weathering, that's when the two of them pass each other on that bridge.
Oh my
and he
God.
kind of like looks and doesn't notice. And then she does that little turn. And then when it's, when they finally run into each other on those steps, it's during that time when Hina is up in the clouds.
Oh, man.
Where it's like everything's dry because there's still puddles and everything on the ground.
Yeah, it's like normal summer because she's not there anymore.
Exactly, yes. So they do a really good job of it, and you're just like, oh, that makes so much sense.
How funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, I thoroughly recommend whenever they have one of those Fathom things, go to the Fathom, because they always do stuff like that. They always have special things to make going to a Fathom event worth it.
Right.
Like that was, I think it was like maybe like 10 to 15 minutes after the movie. So yeah, you get an extra 15 minutes. But yeah, man, they're definitely worth it.
No, yeah, we they might have shown that too, because like now that I think about it, when we were leaving, the lights were still off, and so I think maybe something was like gonna come on after the credits or something. You know, like if there's nothing, the credits come on or the lights come on a lot of times.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's another low flying plane. Yeah, that's one of those things that like whenever like, and I also do this thing where like I stay during the credits of the movies,
just
like,
in general.
Yeah, just in general. Just because, I mean, like, I know they're not there, but it is kind of like a lot of people worked on this. You know, I should just sit. Even if I don't, like, know who they are, it's like, just sit. It's kind of like a respect thing, you know?
I don't respect them, so I just leave.
Yeah. Just like, and gone.
Oh, man, I think I told you about it, but, like, it was, like, funny to even go. I talked to my wife about it. And Madison does not at all care about anime or anything like that. But I was just like, hey, I want to watch this movie, and it's animated. It's an anime, and it's subtitled. She was like, okay, like, that's all right. And so we went. But what I didn't think about was, like, at home, we watch our TV with subtitles on, just, like, closed captions.
Oh, yeah.
And so
she was thinking it was going to be English with subtitles. Oh.
So imagine her surprise when it wasn't. And so, but she was a good sport about it. She was just like, it's a good movie. But she would never, like, just go out of her own way to, like, watch something like that. So she was a good sport about it. So, like, whenever it ended, I was like, well, we can get out of here. Like, I was trying to get out of there for her.
It's like, we gotta run.
I know, it was funny. I was like, oops.
Oh man. Okay, so I guess we can kind of let's go a little bit into the film. So we have our boy Hodaka, who runs away from home. Who I guess he lived on an island.
Right.
Is chasing the sunlight because it's raining all the time. So he's chasing the sunlight, and I guess it goes to Tokyo. And somewhere along the way, he gets beaten up before he goes to Tokyo because he's wearing bandages.
Right.
And he gets saved from almost falling overboard by Kisuke. Mr. Suga, I believe is what they call him in the dub. It's just like Mr. Suga over and over and over. So yeah, gets saved by Mr. Suga, and oh god, that was one of the first things that I really liked. Like, I love water effects in anime because they're usually like the ones in Your Name were great. And then like in this one, like I love that opening scene where it's like it's a little bit of rain, and then he's just like in the middle of the deck, and it's just like it just like starts downpouring.
That was insane.
That was so cool. It was like, man, I wonder if that's how everything works in the sea.
Some of it was like the animation too stood out to me pretty much from the beginning. It was like, man, is this like CG-ish mixed with traditional animation? Like the whole thing was like beautifully animated.
Yeah, it's very nice. So he gets to Tokyo and has nowhere to stay because he's a runaway boy. Is running out of money because no one will hire a 16-year-old boy, like most places.
Right.
So yeah, like won't hire him. Because yeah, he doesn't have like his school ID or anything like that. So he's staying in like what was that? Like a hostel, or
one of them was like, it was like a manga cafe. It said.
That's what it's like, a manga cafe.
But I was like, that's crazy. It has like a shower and stuff.
Dude, I guess
that's dope.
You take manga seriously, man. So and then he goes to one of the best product placements in any film I've ever seen. Yeah.
McDonald's.
Like, it was so good.
That was crazy. I was like, dang, I want to go to McDonald's after this.
Well, like he got the corn chowder, and I'm like, because like I watch Strictly Dumpling, and it's Michael Chin, and he goes to he travels all over the world, and he goes to different places, and he eats all these different foods, and he goes to McDonald's a lot to try like different McDonald's, and he went to one in Japan, and they had this corn chowder, which is what Hodaka had, and I'm just like, he was like, it was really, really good.
How strange.
Like, man, now I want to eat corn chowder.
Go to Japan and try the corn chowder.
Yes, exactly. I just want to go to Japan and eat corn. You can also get like sweet corn as like instead of fries, so you can get like sweet little corn niblets.
Yeah,
and just eat those instead of fries. And I'm like, man, Japan, you
some corn with your burger.
Heck yeah, bro! It's like elementary school.
That burger looked hella good too on there.
Oh my god, I love it. It's like, that was the best food I've ever had. And it was just like, good job, McDonald's.
Like, I see how he got his funding for this movie.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like 100% pure beef patty, and it's like, right,
a Truman Show-esque ads.
Like, I wonder how much they spent.
That's so funny.
Did McDonald's approach him and was
Shinkai
like,
just loves McDonald's. They didn't even ask him.
That would be hilarious. I thought it was weird too. Like, they drink Pepsi a lot, and there's like ads for Pepsi, and I'm like, Pepsi's gross.
He got that Pepsi money, dude. I
guess, but sorry for all the Pepsi drinkers out there, but drink Coke instead. But yeah, I just thought it was weird. I like that little type of stuff. I freaking love.
Yeah, it was funny, the product placement.
Mm-hmm. So that's where our boy Hodaka first meets Hina, because she is the one who gives him a free Big Mac. Well, God, by the way, I wish like American McDonald's is just cool like Japanese McDonald's with
I
that
know.
cool little like hat thing.
That is pretty
And
cool.
the blue looks so much better than the red.
It's not the brand standard, though.
It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Like Japanese McDonald's commercials and everything. Everything just looks great. McDonald's in America, step up your game. They also have croquettes, dude. They also have like potato croquettes that you can get at McDonald's in Japan.
They're just balling on another level there.
Yeah, man, they're so much better.
They, I feel like it was right before he went to that McDonald's, too, that he had accidentally found that gun that was in a trash can.
Yeah, he finds a gun. He's sleeping out in front of a club, and a-hole guy kind of like, pushes him, and he tips over the trash can and finds a bag, and then he goes to McDonald's and is like, I'm gonna open this bag, and a gun falls on the floor.
I was like,
And
geez.
it's like, huh. It's like, it's okay, man. You can, like, get rid of that gun. But I liked how he was like, oh, it's probably a toy. And it was good luck for him because he got a free burger. And then he calls up
It's his burger
Mr.
gun.
Suga. It's his burger gun. He calls up Mr. Suga, who, like, gives him a job and a place to stay. And he's like, I thought it was a toy gun. It was my lucky gun.
Guns
And
bring
it's
good
like-
tidings. Everybody knows that.
Apparently. So he has this, nice gun, and he's going around. Everything's going great. He gets to meet Natsumi, who is not a mistress.
Not a mistress, to his
Not
knowledge.
a mistress.
He didn't know that at first, though. Which I didn't know that in the English, Alison Brie voiced her.
Yes, Alison Brie.
I was like, what? That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't really talk about the voice cast. So I'm gonna do English voice cast just because I still haven't seen it in sub because both of them were dubbed.
No, right.
So
on.
Hodaka is played by and again I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name. Hodaka is voiced by Brendan Ingman. Hina is Ashley. I think it's Butticher.
Yeah, Boddicker.
Boddicker. Kisuke
Bocher.
is voiced by Lee Pace, who is from Oklahoma.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he plays Legolas's dad,
Oh my God.
Fendriel, in The Hobbit.
He's from Chickasha.
Yeah, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, so Kisuke is Lee Pace. Natsumi is Alison Brie. We have, Michael Sinter Nicholas as Taki and Stephanie Shea as Mitsuha. Everybody's favorite Nagi is voiced by Emika Gundo?
Man, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Guess is as good as mine.
And then Takai, who is we have Mike Pollock as the older police officer. And then as the young police officer with the pompadour, we have Riz Ahmed.
Man, I forgot about that. That dude's hair was killing me. I was like, is this Kuwabara?
Basically, yes. Like, hey, Hodaka!
Sunshine Girl!
Oh
My God.
See, I went Space Dandy. I didn't go to Kuwabara. I went straight Space Dandy with his pompadour.
Man, that's funny.
Jeez. But yeah, so that's, that's roughly the English cast. I mean, there are other people. Barbara Goodson's in the movie.
I'm still tripped out about the dude from Oklahoma. That's insane.
Yeah, man. Dude, he plays an elf. He a pretty elf.
Man, that's dope. Oklahoma on the come up, baby.
Yeah. I guess he... Oh, yeah, he... Another fun one. He was Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I saw that on his, IMDb or whatever. That's cool,
like,
man.
Good for him. Making his way downtown. But yeah, so yeah, really good. Like, the English cast was...
Yeah, that's tight.
Phenom. But yeah, so we've got, good... so he meets, gets the job and everything like that. kind of creeps out a little bit on Allison Brie, like you do. So then he goes and he sees Hina again. And he's like, oh no, she's being accosted by ruffians. I shall save her before she gave me burger. So he goes out and, saves her, quote unquote, for about 34 seconds and then gets beat up.
Right.
And pulls his gun.
Dude, he pulls that blammy out quick on that guy, too. I was like, dang.
And he's like, I'm in the ghetto, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat.
He hit that warning shot out next to that dude's
head.
head.
Because Tokyo sure is scary.
He aired it out right next to that dude's head.
Oh, man. So, that happened.
Well, did you think it was like the thing was like kind of a take on like gun control?
It was a little bit about gun control. It was a little bit about gun control, a little bit about climates. Because
there was like an ad, like there's a point where he's like walking up the street and there's like ads and stuff inundating him, like neons and stuff that was like for guns, like selling guns and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of like, I don't know if it was like trying to beat you over the head or what. But
well, there's a police report at like towards the beginning where it's like 29 guns and over 10,000 rounds of ammunition were seized. And I'm like,
you're like, what was that?
I was like, is that Oklahoma? Like that sounds like just a random Tuesday in Shawnee.
For sure.
Like that happened. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then it was like, there was another announcement. It was like, don't, give money to people. Like, they're probably vagrants or whatever. Like, don't take anything from strangers. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, some of it was a little, like, overt. And I'm like, dang, they're really, like, pushing this thing here.
Yeah.
I didn't have any qualms with it, but I was just like, something I noticed,
But I guess like then after he shoots, Hina takes him up and is like, "Look, I'm a sunshine girl. I can pray the rain away." So she prays the rain away, and he's like, "You're a sunshine girl," and she's like, "You." So then he goes and they basically start a business together. He goes to her house. I loved his like firsts of everything. It's like, is this the first time I'm going to a girl's house?
That was hilarious, man. Everyone was dying in the theater.
It was great, yeah. Like, and then later on, it's like, oh, is this the first time a girl's gonna confess to me? And it's like, is this the first time I'm eating American burger? That actually didn't happen, but
it was just like a world of firsts. So I mean, it was like that whenever you have a new experience like that.
I mean, and he is a 16-year-old kid from a random island.
Yeah. So the big city, like a lot of firsts to be had.
Mm-hmm. First time I met a cat.
I love that cat.
I love that he named it Rain.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a great name for a cat, bro.
That is a good name.
Yeah, so they create a business, goes to her house. She makes him ramen and
chips and eggs. I don't remember what all it had in it, but it was like, it looked bomb though after she made it.
I was like, when she's making it, I'm like, all right. She's watched a lot of Chopped. She's just got a random basket full of ingredients. And
My God.
They're like, go. And like whatever the Food Network's version of James Gunn is like, go.
All the food looked bomb in this movie.
Not James Gunn, Tim Gunn. Yeah, dude, it looked great. I like how when she separated those eggs like it was nothing. I was like, dang, that's some good egg anime.
What a pro.
And then, she's like, oh no, I live with my brother. And, that's when we get to see our boy Nagi again.
Dude, he was...
Like, oh, it's the player child.
He was hilarious, man.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of knew that something was going down. Because, like, when he first goes to her house, those two social workers are walking by, and they're like, she can't be, they can't be living like that.
Yeah, you're like,
It's
huh.
yeah, it's very, and he's just kind of like,
You're like
I'm just gonna go see my boo.
you don't know what. You don't really know though. You're not really looking for anything.
Yeah, but
So
yeah,
like
it's
later when you
it's-
find out, you're like, oh dang.
yeah, it's very covert, kind of.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like,
Some foreshadowing.
yeah, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, snippity snap. So like when you go back and when you go back and think about it, you're like, oh, so yeah, they've been living like this for a while.
Right.
So, but yeah, they create a basically a message board that's like, yo, if you want sunshine, pay us the equivalent of $50, and we'll make it shine for you.
That sounds like it would have been like some code for drugs or something.
You say, you want that sunshine? $50.
That the gorillas, I got sunshine in a bag.
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. But dare.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, so they decide to create sunshine. So he comes up when he it's a cool little umbrella, and then they dress the kid up like a oh shoot, what's the thing that you make and it like keeps the rain away?
It's supposed to be like a ghost or something, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but
It's a rain magon thing. I don't remember what it's called. Oh well. Anyway, so dresses up like that. By the way, loved his voice actor. I think she did amazing. So good for her. But anyway, yeah, it was so like they go out and they make the rain stop, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, and then they start getting flooded with everything. I did like when they're going to all the different people, like they do that montage with the BA Radwimp soundtrack.
Yeah, that was really cute. Because the little kids give them like
we won't go play
a dime. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like everyone's giving all these excuses, and like I think they said we won't go outside, but like when they do it in the English, they're literally like we won't go play. It's like
that's funny.
Nice. It was super cute. Yeah, so everybody gets to have fun, fun times, and then it culminates with they go out and she prays the rain away across this entire wide area so that there can be a fireworks festival.
Dude, that was probably one of the coolest parts of the movie with like the animation like going through the fireworks. Mm-hmm. That was insane. I was like,
was
dang,
really, really good.
This
I was
looks
like,
baller as heck.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey Disneyland, you can update the ride Soarin' and do new things. Make this happen, please.
Yeah, that part was legit. I really like that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, so then that happens, and then they do a. That's when they go meet Mrs. Tachibana, I believe it is.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be the last one, right? They did for a while.
Well, they had one more that they were gonna do because they tell her that they got too famous because
that's
she
right.
saw them,
And
they're like, we're gonna go.
Right.
This guy wants to play with his daughter outside.
I knew exactly what it was too. I told
Like
I
when
turned
they
to
say
Madison and I
that,
told
and
her.
it's just like, oh, here it comes. Yeah,
I already knew what time it was.
We get to see Taki, and you're like, oh, Taki's back. That's cool. That's when we learned that her mother passed away and everything like that.
Right.
So then they go out, and it's like, oh, it's Mr. Suga. He wants to spend time with his daughter.
Man, I like that part too. I was like, this is very wholesome here, and this is like filling my heart up real nice. Mm-hmm. But you also see like, that's whenever you find out that
oh yeah,
it's his niece too.
Yes,
Natsumi. Mm-hmm. That killed in that part in the theater. It killed because she was like, me and him, and it's like everyone in the theater just starts dying laughing.
Yep, it's great. And he's like, I'm sorry, and she's like, you're staring at my chest again. And he's like, no, senpai's calling, bye, and runs away. And I'm like, smart kid. But we also learn that because Natsumi is working this Sunshine Girl story, which they've been doing the entire time. And we find out from a priest that Sunshine Girl is like a sacrifice. So she's probably going to die at some point.
That made me real sad.
Yeah. And so you're like, oh no, that sucks. And so she tells Hina, and then on the way back, because that's when Hodaka, he goes and gets a ring because it's her birthday. She's going to turn 18 years old.
In quotes. In quotes, yeah.
Exactly. She's going to turn 18 years old. So she's 2 years older than he is. Because he's only 16. So yeah, he's like, yeah, he tries to figure out what to get her, and then good old Senpai Nagi is the one who tells him, like, yo, get her a ring. Girls that love rings. So he gets her this cool, cute little ring, and he's gonna give it to her, and then she's like, guess what? And then she, like, goes up into the sky. And he's like, I'm turning into water. And he's like, c'est quoi? So they go
whenever the cops and stuff had been.
Yeah,
like,
that's when the cops come and they're like, yeah.
They were looking for him because he's a runaway.
Exactly, he's a runaway. He fired a gun at somebody.
My God. And we find out that her and her brother were like living together, but they're both minors, right?
Exactly, like they're both minors. They're illegally living with each other or by themselves, so they're gonna have to be. I thought it was weird. Like, by the way, okay, so this movie does this thing where it portrays the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department as a bunch of idiots. Man,
the ease with which he was able to get out, I'm like, dude, no one is trying to stop this guy.
The ease of which he is able to escape from any cop.
I know, I'm like...
in any situation.
It's like Barney Fife everywhere.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh. Because like he runs away from two cops at the beginning, and he's just like, deuces, and they're like, stop him. And they don't even like, they're like, somebody else, do our job, stop that child.
They're tired of Shinkai slandering the police's good name in Japan, I'm sure.
Because like he goes, when the police officers are there, you're like, yeah, we're like, they're gonna come for us in the morning, and it's like, wouldn't they just take you now? Like,
man, I don't know.
Wouldn't they just get you now?
Let the kids rest, you know?
I guess. But yeah, like, it's like, okay, sure, why not? And then, so they end up running away. Because, you know, like you do. All children
as you do.
Run away from home. And that's when it starts getting really bad outside. A lot more rain, it starts snowing, it starts going crazy. It's very much like Men in Black 2, where she doesn't cry because it rains because she cries.
It probably inspired him.
Probably.
He was watching Men in Black 2. He was like, dang, I should make a movie about this.
And then he thought, why am I watching Men in Black 2? What's going on? I'm so confused. So they run away and they again escape the cops. She uses her cool weather powers, very much like Storm, and explodes a bus.
Dude, that was tight. That freaking lightning strike, I was like, dang.
It was good. Like, the explosion was good, and it was just like, oh, snippety snap. And they're like, we gotta go. And so they finally find a place.
It out of there.
They finally find a place and go up into this nice, cool, hotel. And they're just like, oh, everything's so great. I did like Nagi. He's like, the bed is big. The room is big. The tub is big. Let's all take a bath. And they're like, no, because we're 18 and 16 years old. We can't do that. And he's like, fine, how about a boys' bath? And then they go to a boys' bath, and then they turn on, like, the cool jet jacuzzi things. And
that
it's
was
a
legit.
light show. And I'm like, bro, that's dope.
And then they just sang karaoke and stuff.
Mm-hmm, they sing karaoke, and
cool.
they eat a lot of, junk food. That's where the Pepsi comes in, and I'm like, you poor children.
I think they had a KFC placement, too.
Yes, I did like that. I was like, good job, guys.
I was like, wow.
So yeah, they have all those, they get like ramen and chips and Pepsi and chicken nugs, chicky nug nugs, like all the cool stuff. And then they karaoke, and then they pillow fight, and then they go to sleep. And he's like, I love you. Please, here's a ring. And she's like, oh, great. She's like, do you want it to ever stop raining? And he's like, yeah, I hate the rain. I wish anyone could make it stop.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to take my robe off. Look at me. And he's like, oh, no. Is this going to be my first time seeing a naked girl? Oh, no, she's water.
It was a water boob.
And yeah, it's just like he's got that water boob going. And he's like, oh. It's like, I don't want you to go. No, no, no. And then she, like, force ghosts out of there. And it's like, whoosh. Like, just leaves a robe. Very Obi-Wan style.
It was. She was one with the Force.
Mm-hmm. And then the cops come. Like, yeah, she gets sucked up and loses the ring. Which, by the way, she must have been really high up there. Because it takes, like, 6 hours for that ring to
know,
fall.
yeah. It falls when he's, like, getting taken out by the cops.
Perfect placement, too. Just, like, right in front of him. Just like, Not, like, on top of a roof somewhere.
It was meant to be.
So the cops come. They've tracked him down, these wanted, criminals. Track him down, take Nagi away, and they're taking him away. And he gets the ring, and he's like, oh, no, she sacrificed herself for us. And the guy's like, God, what is going on? I did love that. I did love the pompadour cop, who's just like, God, I hate kids.
I know, he was just like so over it.
Like, I hate my job. Why do I have to deal with this? I'm part of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, damn it. I shouldn't have to deal with police matters. So they go, and they're going to take him into the thing, and he's like, I got this. So how about this? You let me go, I'll come right back. I just got to find the girl, I'll come right back, and then you can arrest me. And he's like, no, that's not how police works. Which at this, and then, our boy Hodoka's like, you know what? This is not how police works. I'm just going to run away.
I'm just going to dip and get away immediately.
And, like, they're literally yelling, like, stop him. Stop him. Like, it's one of those, I'm like, you guys didn't, like, immediately run after him either.
I know. I'm like, what do you... And he, like, slides under that one guy that's going to hit him with the stick.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, there's that police lady who's, like, chilling there talking.
By the office, yeah.
By the office, and she's just like, eep, someone's running.
I know. I'm like, stick your leg out, lady.
Yeah, and then, like, he does a slip and slide thing and goes zoop underneath the dude's legs, and then the guy's just like, oh, man, he got past me.
Yeah.
That was the line of defense. Sorry,
He's just
guys.
bewildered that this guy got past him. Like, dude, he didn't even try.
And then, Pompadour's, like, Terminator 2 running after him. He's got, like, fingers straight, like, coming at him. He's like, I'm gonna get him.
Track star.
So he's going, and then, our girl... Natsumi pulls up in her scooter
and Vespa, is like, out of nowhere,
get on, and she's like, and they're going around and, like, dodging police. She lets them know that Nagi has been taken to, like, Child Protective Services. Which, by the way, I love that they let a child in Child Protective Services, like, call two people to come visit him.
He got conjugal visits.
Exactly. Like, this is a 10-year-old who gets conjugal visits.
I'm like, dang.
What's going on?
Some friends of mine don't even get conjugal visits, and they're adults.
Oh, man. So he's going that way, and, like, by the way, I loved Nagi's plan. This kid is, like, a mastermind.
I was a genius.
Like, and he's like, oh, look, this girl's here. And then other girl comes and is like, this is the second time this kid's getting, like, a visitor.
She had a list of, like, a bunch of visits he'd had. I was like, that's hilarious.
I was like, this kid, man.
He's a G.
Like, she's, like, taking notes and stuff, and, like, the cop inside, and she's just like, oh, man. when the girl's like, Nagi, I was so scared. Feel my chest. My heart is beating.
I was like, oh my God.
And the girl's like, oh, I can feel your chest. It is beating really hard. And the cop's like, oh my gosh, these children. Kids today. Tokyo is
everyone
scary.
Everyone in our theater was dying when that happened. I was like, dang, this is wild.
And then he's like, all right, time to initiate the Ocean's 11 plan. And goes, and she's like, I don't know my way. She's like, you're not supposed to let that kid out of your sight. He's like, I gotta go potty. And she's like, I should take you. Takes her there, and it's just like, the girl's like, all right, here, let's time to get undressed, because you're gonna be me, and I'm gonna be you. We're gonna do the swappy swap. And it's like...
in the sub, it's like, the things I do for my ex. I was like, what? These kids are like in the dub, 10 years old.
Like in the dub, she's like, I can't believe you called your ex to do this. And it's
just
that's like
I was like, wow.
Like, oh my goodness.
But you did it though.
And this kid. And so they do that, which also I'm going to continue with the Tokyo police are incompetent. She never calls that in. So that girl was fooled. That cop, she was fooled, man.
I never thought about that. That's crazy.
Because, like, they don't ever call and be like, yeah, that child's missing.
Man,
like,
that's funny.
Something crazy happened. But that means, like, he would have had he went out with a wig in front of all those other cops, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. This kid, like, he's a G.
He is.
So, so she's, like, writing down her thing. I did like how she's like, I've never known what I wanted to be I know what I want to be with my life now. I want to be a motorcycle cop and chase down bad guys. And he's like, they're not going to he's like, you're not going to be able to be a cop after this.
Dude, that killed me.
It was so, like, the comedy in this was great. Like, that's, like, one of the things that I, like, why I like this movie, I think, more than Your Name, is because, like, the comedy is better. The story is a lot more cohesive. There are better characters in it. I think like overall it's just better. He goes up to he's gonna go to this shrine. She decides, by the way, let's get rid of Natsumi. She's gonna she's gonna fjord this road that has been flooded and doesn't work. So
I was like, wow, okay, just gonna try to drive into 30 feet of water? That's fine.
It's like, there was an alley you could have pulled around. But she, like, drives, and it's like, it's sinking, and was like, well, bye. So he hops the fence, gets cut, runs, and, like, starts running, through all of everything. Like, I also like the workers, like, the railway workers. They're like, kid, stop, it's dangerous.
And no one ever tries to actually stop him.
He's gone. He's faster than we are. Like, all the adults in this are just bad.
Dude, I know.
So he goes up to the building where they're like, where he knows where he thinks she's at, because it was the shrine where she became the weather. What was it? Weather maiden? Sunshine girl. Where she becomes the Sunshine Girl, and he's going up there, and bum bum bum. That's where Kisuke's at. He's like, haha, no, we can go to the police. We'll go to the police. And he, like, attacks him, and he, like, slaps the kid, and he's like, stop being a child, and pulls the gun on him. He's like, I got a gun.
He pulled that blammy on him quick, though. I was like, wow.
And then again, he was in the ghetto, so rat-tat-tat-tat. Fires the gun, and then the cops come, and they're like, get on the ground. And you're like, really, guys?
I thought they were going to kill him.
I totally thought they were going to kill him.
I was tearing up in the movie. I was like, man, if he goes out like this movie's jacked up.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, he throws the gun away, gets tackled, and then Kisuke's like, you get your hands off of Hodaka! And he runs and, like, pushes Pompadour Cop out of the way and starts beating him up. And then, like, older cop is like, I'm gonna get the kid. And then boy Nagi comes in his, like, flashy dress and was like, no, go get my sister. You caused this.
That killed me, too. I was like, man. At first, I didn't know who he was. I was like, oh, my God, that's the little brother in drag.
Mm-hmm. And then he goes up, crosses, cool escapes up into the balcony, goes through the thing, and then starts falling through the air. Which I thought was a great scene. It was just like boom, boom.
Yeah,
and
that was
like,
pretty
and
insane.
now he's falling. They do this thing. So he sees her and is like, "Quick, jump to me!" And they jump and they embrace, and then it's like, "Oh, I missed you." It's like, pray to yourself. You don't want to be the Sunshine Girl anymore. As they're doing this cool falling thing, which looked amazing.
He's like, "I care about you more than I care about having sunny days."
Mm-hmm.
I was
I
like,
don't care if
"Dang."
it rains forever.
That had me tearing up too a little bit. Not gonna lie.
It was so good. And then they go and they land, and she gets escorted away because we find out that she's actually only 15 years old.
My God!
And you're like, that's why she didn't want to take a bath.
He'll know.
That was the reason, because she's only 15. No, but yeah, so she was lying, and like that's why the cops were like, yes, this is bad. You're definitely a minor. So he has to go back home. He pleads guilty. And you find out during a nice monologue that it just kept raining, and it flooded Tokyo.
Dude, that was insane.
It's like it's rained nonstop.
Big old fat rain.
Yeah. The rain came down, Jenny. It just rained and rained for 3 whole years. Rained for 3 years, flooded all of Tokyo, basically. And so he's like, I finally graduated high school. And this girl, he's like, oh, the girl's going to confess to me. And she's like, is it true that you're wanted by the police? And
that was hilarious. In Tokyo?
Like, c'est quoi? But yeah, so I thought that was great. So he goes back to Tokyo to go find, talks to, Mr. Suga, who has a new business, and you find out that Nagi has, grown in the last 3 years to a very tall, wonderfully looking gentleman. You're like, dang, kid got hot.
And Rain got to be a big old fat cat.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Rain's just a big fat cat. Just like she's like, Rain, you let yourself go.
Yeah, that part was funny. Madison was like, that was like the one part that stuck out. She's like, I love the cat.
Yeah.
It's like the cat was like in 2 scenes.
It's like, Rain, you ain't got no ankles. They cankles now.
Cat ankles.
So, so they go, and then he goes, and he finally goes to see Hina again, and she's praying, and like he's like, Hina, she turns around, and the wind whips her hood off, and they're like, and they go and they hug, and they're like, we're gonna be okay, and that's where they end the movie.
I was like, dang.
So it's gonna be interesting because, like, Shinkai said that in his in that little interview thing, he was like, "Yeah, like they were talking about putting Your Name people doing the cameos," and he talks about the cameos, and he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be weird to put these guys in a new in the next a cameo in the next movie because it's like I've already flooded Tokyo. It's gonna be difficult."
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, bro, you didn't think about that one, did you? The next one takes place in, like, Osaka.
It's like Waterworld.
Basically. Oh, that would be so cool. There's land. Look, I have a tomato plant. Yeah. So on a scale of 5, like we usually do on this show, what would you give this this movie, Mr. Harold? I know I've talked a lot. But...
No, I mean, I think it's great, man. I think there's really not much that stands out to me as far as like that doesn't make sense, but I would give it a 4 probably. I mean, I ended up liking it. Like I said, I was shocked that I went in not like with my mind made up that I wasn't gonna like it more than Your Name, but like I just think of Your Name so highly like that that I thought that there's no way this is gonna touch this, and then it's like. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, man, this is really good. And then by the end, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I think I like this better than Your Name.
Yeah, I want you to see the dub.
I need to check it out.
Yeah, check if you can see the dub, I definitely recommend the dub. The voice, it was so good in this. Like I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, that is a phenomenal dub. Like, I was like blown away how good it was. I was like, this is just ridiculously good. Like,
Yeah, need you to see the sub, then, my guy.
I'm trying.
You tried to.
I may go see it this week. It all depends. So yeah, I'll try to see it. I want to see it subbed because I like seeing the differences in the films. Like, there are the subtle differences in the dub and sub between Your Name and in Your Name. I think I like the dub a little bit better, just because.
I still haven't seen the dub of Your Name.
Really? What's wrong with you?
I've only ever seen it subbed. I'm a purist on that one.
That's weird. Like, the best part about that is when when she's like, I want to be like, I wish I was, a Tokyo boy. I want to be reincarnated into a Tokyo boy. When she yells that with her sister, and she like runs down the stairs, like, I'm not 100% sure what she says in the sub. She's just like, man, you're an idiot. But in the dub, she's just like, looks at her sister and she's like, jackass. And it's like, damn.
Oh man, yeah, I can't remember what it says there.
I think she's just like baka. I think you just do like the standard idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just like jackass. And you're just like, dang. Good for you. But yeah, no, I give this a 5, like 5 Dipper Pines for me.
Dang.
Yeah,
Full Monty on it.
Full Monty, exactly, dude. I can't think of a single thing that was wrong with this. The music was really good. The music was really catchy. That's one thing that he talked about. He was like, I wrote the script for the movie, and the first person that I sent it to was the lead singer of the Radwimps. So,
wow, really?
That was the first person
crazy.
he sent it to. And so he was like looking through it and he was like, oh yeah. And he didn't ask for songs. He's just like, I want you to read this. And then he was like, I think like 2 weeks later or like a week later, he got like 3 songs.
Wow.
And it was just like, and those were the songs that we did in the movie. So it's
That's
like,
legit.
there you go. And I'm like,
simple, man.
It was so good. Yeah, like the songs were really good. Everything about the movie I think is, pretty top. Did you have any favorite scenes or anything like that?
I was gonna say, like, yeah, whenever he calls the little brother senpai, it was just funny. Like, my wife knows nothing about anime, but it's like when that part happens, like me and like the other theater, like the rest of the theater is like dying, and it's just funny for her to look over and be like, "What the heck? Like, what did I miss?" Basically. Mm-hmm. So that part cracked me up. I love the part with the fireworks, with the animation there. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked how the little water droplets were like fish.
Yes, that was cool.
That was like a really cool way to like illustrate that. I thought that was really neat.
But I want to know what that lady or her husband do. Or her wife. I don't know. We only saw that one lady cooking via iPad in that ridiculously big apartment.
Oh, yeah.
With that little boy. And is like, Mommy, a fish. And she's like, that's great. And she's like looking at the iPad, cooking. I'm like, I want to know what she or whoever it is that has that, what they do to own that massive apartment.
Dude, that thing was baller. Those windows.
And that was just like the living room, kitchen area.
I know.
We didn't even see the bedrooms.
I kept wondering what the tie-in was. I was like, why are we seeing this family? I wonder if they're going to show up in the next movie or something.
We only see this family because they were there.
Because they were there.
They were there. Man, yeah. It was just good. Like, all around, it's like, I loved the movie. I loved all the characters in it. There wasn't a character that I was just like, or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Because even Pompadour Policeman, like, he had, some funny bits where he was like, I hate everything. And when he does his Terminator run after him, he's like, chugga, 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 chugga.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
They're just like, oh, snap, run. Yeah, like, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. Oh man. Okay. Real quick before we leave, let's talk the Annie Awards. The Annie Awards were this weekend, so we do have winners for all of our wonderful Annie Awards 2020. Netflix won 19 awards.
They came out strong, man. They had a
Yes.
lot of stuff this 2019.
So let's kind of start here. Best feature was Klaus. Best indie feature was I Lost My Body. Special production was How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming. For whatever reason was not called How to Train Your Dragon 3. Let's see. Best TV media for preschoolers was Ask the Storybots. Best TV/media for children was Disney Mickey Mouse. And then best TV/media for general audience was BoJack Horseman. And I'm like, really? BoJack Horseman? I would have assumed DuckTales would have done it.
Wow.
Because, I mean, like, or Big Mouth. Well, probably not Big Mouth, but but I'm just like, that was so weird. Like, let's see, best FX for TV or media was Love, Death, and Robots. Best character animation, Klaus. Let's kind of scroll down here. Character design, Klaus. Direction, Klaus. Best music, Love, Death, and Robots.
Netflix was trying to clean up, my guy.
Yeah, they did a lot. Best voice acting was Bob's Burgers.
Oh, wow, that's funny. Makes sense, though.
For TV and media, best voice acting for a feature was Frozen 2.
Dang.
Best writing for TV and media was Tuca and Birdie, which sucks because it was canceled.
Right. That was Netflix, too, though, right?
Yeah, it was Netflix. So yeah, 19 awards for Netflix. So good job, guys. You did very well. Oh man. So Harold, thanks for coming on, dude. Thanks for listening to me talk.
I just let you do your thing, man.
Yeah.
I jump in when I feel like I need to, but you're in your element.
So Harold, where can everybody find you and Toons?
Yeah, you could find me on Toons podcast. We talk about all things animation, music. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's just TUNES/TOONS. And then you can find me, my personal social media, Harold Story, HAROLDSTOREY.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, on Twitter at Animate Podcast. All of our episodes available iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and on our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Sure, you know what? Let's go ahead and announce this. We're looking for a full-time co-host. So...
putting the call out.
Yeah, we're gonna put the call out. If you want to be, a co-host on the Animation Station podcast, a well-established podcast, listen to literally ones of people. We will definitely have you on. Just shoot us an email Just, you can message us on social media or email us animationstationpodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, submit the form. It gets to us either way. Whatever. Just, holla. You'd be like, I'm interested in coming on the podcast. I want to talk about things. I assume that's how you sound. But yeah, we'll get on. We'll talk some things. We'll make things happen because we need more people to be on episodes.
Right.
All right. So Harold, man, thanks for coming on, bro.
Always, man, always.
All right. So for the Animation Station podcast, I'm Josh.
And for Toons podcast, I'm Harold.
Rip Kobe.
Rest in peace, for sure.
Gonna go see The Gentleman tomorrow.
Oh, right.
And then Tuesday, I'm gonna go see The Turning.
Oh, okay. The Turning looked pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like when I didn't know that it was coming out, and when I saw the preview, I was like, wait a second. I remember watching this movie like in 8th grade literature, And it was like, what is this book? And I looked it up. It's like, oh, it's The Turning of the Screw. Like, that makes total sense.
That seems like, you don't like scary movies, though?
No, I don't.
But you're still going to go see it?
Yeah, we're going to I'm seeing it at 11 a.m., so.
Oh, that'll be all right.
So the bad things can't get me.
True.
It does kind of suck that there's only one other person in that theater. And I'm like, they're going to murder me.
Go sit by them. I was kidding.
No. I'm like two rows in front of them, so I'm like, yes. They're gonna garrot me in my, while I'm watching the film.
My one victim has arrived.
And we're like, yes, excellent. Oh boy. Okay, so what is 197? God, we're so close.
Man, that's crazy.
So, so I had a 5-year-old come into my residence about last week, actually. So he was here with his parents. Obviously, I don't just like take random 5-year-olds.
That's good.
So we started watching True, which is it's a cartoon on not Nickelodeon, on Netflix. So let's see, what's it called? True, and it's True in the Rainbow Kingdom is what it's called.
Huh. What is it?
And it's a little, series where this girl lives in this place with all these. It's kind of Adventure Time-y. There's 3 like actual humans. There's the girl named True. There is a princess who apparently is the worst. Blonde princesses, you know how those are. And then there's a little boy, and his name is Z, and he's like this like shaman guru kid. So whenever something crazy happens in the Rainbow Kingdom, True has to go to Z, and he gives her like 3 wishes. And she goes like, zip, zap, zoo, I choose you. And that's the whole thing. It's very Pokemon-esque. Like, she gets these 3 wishes, and like each one will do something different. And so she gets 3 wishes at the beginning of each episode that will help her out.
Huh.
So for episode 200, we're going to call it episode True 100. And I'm going to get his mom and the 5-year-old boy, little Remy, on to do episode True 100. And
oh, that's cool.
True in the Rainbow Kingdom.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that'll be really cool for him, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do podcasts. Like, he's been on, like, they're the ones that did Cloud City Cast, which became Hill Radio. Yeah. So, yeah, it's Liam and Brittany.
He's familiar.
Yeah, exactly. They do stuff. So, he's been in podcasting his entire life, basically.
Legit.
He's been at this longer than us, man.
I know,
5.
yeah, that is true.
My goodness.
In the scale of his life, yeah.
Yes. Like, I've grown up in the entertainment industry.
He's done it more years than us. He's all jaded by the industry already.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I don't want these kids no more. That's how 5-year-olds sound. Anyway, we should probably start this episode.
Do you think?